That was super 5 minutes, super fast 5 minutes. I got cut off. We were going over 4 important facts for solving one-step equations. The first was that we're going to think about every equation as a scale. We're going to make sure that it stays balanced. Whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other. The second is that we're going to isolate the variable. Now, the word isolate has more meaning right now because we've been quarantining and we've been trying to stay isolated from one another. But our job when we solve equations is to get the variable alone, to isolate it, to kind of put it in quarantine. So that means we're going to move all the other numbers to the other side of the equation. That equal sign is kind of that dividing line. So we need to get the letter on one side, all the numbers on the other. The way we're going to do that, the how, is we're going to make the constant go to 0. Remember, a constant looks like this. If I have x plus 7, the constant is the 7. We need that 7 to go to 0 because then x is alone. That's the additive identity. Adding 0 doesn't change the answer. And we want any coefficient to go to 1. If I have 3x, I want to change that 3 to be a 1 because 3 times 1 is 3. 1 times x is just x. So I want the 1 to change, the 3 to change to a 1. And then the last step is we're going to always still add the opposite. We don't want to deal with subtraction. My suggestion is to always get rid of subtraction problems by adding the opposite. Okay, let's try some. Now remember, the most important thing, the thing that we're practicing is showing our work. So I always start by drawing a line through my equal sign. This kind of helps me distinguish between the left and the right side of the equation. And it kind of helps me picture this equation as a scale. That's a personal preference. You don't have to draw the line, but it definitely helps when we get to those complicated multi-step equations. And then again, my goal is to isolate this x. I need to get rid of the numbers with the x. And so with the x, I have a plus 13. To make that constant go to 0, I take away 13. If I take away 13, thinking about those blocks from this side, I have to take away 13 blocks from the other side. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. You're actually doing what's called the inverse operation. If you've heard of that before, inverse operation. I think I spelled that right. When 13 minus 13 is 0, so this side, all that's left is an x. That's what I want. That x is alone. It's isolated now. And then I have to do this math problem. That math problem is actually one of the hardest ones. The answer is negative 34. Negative 21, if you think about it on a number line, I start at negative 21 and I go backwards 13 more. I land at negative 34. Okay, for this next one, this is a times 3x. I'm going to do the inverse. The opposite of multiplying is dividing. So to get rid of this 3, to change the 3 to a 1, I'm going to divide by 3. Because 3 divided by 3 is 1. So this side, all that's left is an x. I forgot to draw my line through the equal sign. That's again where I always start. And then I need to get rid of this times 3. The opposite of times 3 is divide by 3. If I divide by 3 on this side, I have to divide by 3 on the other side. 21 divided by 3 is negative 7. Those signs are different, so the answer is negative. We're going to be using integer rules, positive and negative number rules, so much during this work. So I hope that you have those memorized. All right, that's just 2 examples. We'll do a lot more in class, but that's the beginning of solving equations. Thank you.